Greetings everyone, welcome to another lesson of prepositional collocation, and in this we are going to see the use of at. So this is maybe Abhinav Anand, and this is about me. I'm Abhinav Anand, pursuing English honors from University of Delhi, football lover, poet and a traveler. Please don't forget the 3 R's in 1S, that is do, rate, review, recommend and share my videos, and leave your comments in the section below. So let's begin. Let's look at uses of at. So obviously this is the first use, right? So let's look at. So usually with look, and we tend to use this word at. Look at this, look at that, look at her face, look at the portrait. So usually this word look is being succeeded by this preposition at. So let's quickly examine what are the specific areas where we use at. So at is used to denote specific time. So we will see the examples later on. Then specific place, and remember the previous lesson was on in, and in actually denotes a larger place. So at basically denotes a specific place. Then email address, email at me at this or whatever, and an activity. So let's go through the examples of these different uses. Example of specific time: I'll meet you at 12 p.m. So whenever we have to mention specific time, so we use this word at instead of on. So we have this misconception of using on. Let's meet on this time. So that's not correct. So at specific time, when we have to mention, we use at. The bus will stop here at 5:45 p.m. So this is example of specific time. Moving on, we have example of a specific place. So there's a party at the clubhouse. So where's the party? The party is at the clubhouse. So this specific place, that is the clubhouse, is actually what signifies the use of at, and anything that happens at a specific place, the mention of it must be done by using at. There are hundreds of people at the park, so the park being a very specific place, and that too we are talking about a particular park, because let's examine this use of this article the. So the represents that there is a specific park that is being talked about. So this use of word at. We saw a baseball game at the stadium. Again, this article the signifies that the talk here is done about a particular stadium and not a general stadium. So this preposition at. Moving on. Examples of email address: WhatsApp, Unacademy. So obviously this is Unacademy. So for example, let's say we say that, okay, if you have to say anything to me, if you have to contact me, please email me at whatever your email ID. Here it's abc@dfg.com, whatever it is, maybe. Uske baad, we have next example where, so this example being, you can follow me at Unacademy. So again, this use of at. You can WhatsApp me at this number. So we can see that this is kind of very general conversation. We all used to share our WhatsApp number, or we used to share our email ID. So wherever we have to mention that, we need to mention at in order to state the email ID or the WhatsApp number, or platform like Unacademy. So all these social media, social connect that is going to be built, it depends on how you use this word at. So it becomes that important. So moving on, we have examples of activity. He laughed at my acting. So whenever you see or watch something that is an activity, or you can also say movie, or you see a performance, whatever it is, when you are going to describe So when you're going to describe it, we are going to use this word at. So this, for example, this one, he laughed at my acting. So what does his reaction was? So his reaction was laughter. And why this reaction was? Because somebody acted. So this use of at for showing this example of activity is where at is very frequently used. I am good at drawing a portrait. So this, however, is talking about your own talent. So this is very important for anyone who is going for an interview. So people usually ask this in interview that, okay, what are you good at? So I'm good at this, I'm good at that, I'm good at drawing things, I'm good at making people laugh, I'm good at this or that. So whenever you're going to state something, state activity that you do, you are going to use this word at in order to make sure that the correct preposition is placed in the correct place. So if we see the next example, we looked at her blonde hair. So this looking is also an activity, and this at is actually establishing a relation between looking and the object that is being looked at. That is, here is blonde hair. So again, establishing the relationship between looked and blonde hair. So the next thing that we have is Boffin's Book of Brilliance. So Boffin is here with his quite brilliant ideas. So let's see what Boffin has for us. So Boffin says, people are usually in to note a general. People are usually using in to note a general location, at for a more specific location. So I am in the building at the front desk. So building here becomes a more general location, but the front desk becomes more specific. So what Boffin says is at is used for this specific location, that is front desk, and in is used for more general location, that is building. So I am in New York at the conference. So New York is certainly a big city, and so a general notion is attached to it, while conference being a very specific thing, specific event. So at is used here. I am in New York at the Empire State Building. So again, you can see the same distinction. Edit, but note also the difference when in is used to indicate inside. So this is very important. There are some instances where in is used in order to indicate inside, that the pen is lying in the box. So there the word in is used in order to make sure to give a feeling that something's inside the other thing, and that is where we have to make sure that we use in and not at. So this is very important, and one should keep this in mind. Let's move on. So we have the song of preposition. Again, I have written this and I have tried to make the sense. So let's see what we have here. At the door, very specific, at the door, stood a man. He looked at me. At me, I am specific, a specific person. In amazement. He then looked at the clock on the table. Again, the very specific thing, that is clock. So this word at. And then looked at the basement. Again, a specific thing. And there ends this silly fable. So at the door stood a man who looked at me in amazement. He then looked at the clock on table and then looked at the basement. And there ends this silly fable. So actually that was silly, really silly. But I couldn't think of anything else at that time. So this was the song of preposition. I hope it made clear some of the uses of at and where and how we can use it. So let's begin, and here begins your job. So your canvas is here. You can write anything on everything. You can write a paragraph, you can write a poetry, you can write anything that includes at and its use in it. And you can leave the comment in the section below. You can keep that paper with you. You can practice it as much as you want. So this is where you become an educator, and we go on to break this stereotype of educator being at a superior level and learner being at an inferior level. This is where we both become equals. And I want you to write anything that you feel like and fill this canvas and contribute to this lesson, this PPT, this slide. So I hope to see your responses. Thank you so much for listening. Bye bye.